Hi, everyone. Janet Robinson here. Welcome back to the Deep Dive, the only place where my favorite normies, Tommy Bennett and Lilly Jones, unpack the mysteries from uncomfortable theories. So sink into your beanbag chair, grab a warm cup of tea, or just keep your eyes on the road. And let's get into it. Tommy, Lilly, take it away.
You know that feeling you get when you see something just truly awful on the news?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Like a story about animal cruelty, or maybe a politician stealing from a pension fund. You don't just think, I disagree with that. You feel it.
It's visceral.
It is. It's this tightening in your chest, this sort of heat in your face. And to you, that reaction, it feels like you're tapping into some universal cosmic truth.
Like gravity.
Exactly. You know murder is wrong, the same way you know a rock falls down.
It feels like the bedrock of human experience. We navigate the world by that compass.
Right. But I want to start today's deep dive with a question that, and I'm not kidding, it honestly kept me up last night after reading our source material.
Okay.
What if that compass is lying to you?
That is a heavy way to start a Tuesday.
I know, stick with me though. What if that gut feeling isn't a connection to truth at all? What if it's just a biological app? A piece of legacy software that was coded into your brain 2 million years ago to help you survive the Stone Age.
And now,
and here's the scary part, it's completely obsolete.
you are diving straight into the deep end of Janet Robinson's uncomfortable theories.
I am. We're looking at a transcript of hers titled The Moral Placeholder Theory. And honestly, uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
The central idea here is that humanity is running Stone Age moral software on, well, godlike hardware.
AI, nukes, gene editing.
And that mismatch is going to kill us.
It's a theory that really forces you to strip away all the romance of being human and just look at the raw mechanics. And you're right, the core argument is that morality is a placeholder.
A placeholder.
A temporary evolutionary tool,
Okay.
like training wheels that we were supposed to use, and then eventually discard.
See, that's the part I really struggle with, training wheels.
Yeah.
It just implies morality is something we're meant to grow out of. But let's back up. Before we get to the discarding part, we need to understand where this software even came from.
Okay.
Robinson cites a bunch of evolutionary biologists, people like Dennis Krebs and Franz de Waal.
Right. And to understand this, you have to completely forget about philosophy class and just picture the African savannah maybe 2 million years ago. Picture a human from back then.
Okay, I'm with you.
Biologically, we are a total disaster.
A disaster.
We are slow, we don't have claws, we have no natural armor, our teeth are tiny. I mean, in a one-on-one fight with a leopard or even a chimp, a human loses. 100% of the time.
So, we shouldn't have survived.
Not as individuals, no. But we had this one superpower. We could coordinate.
I could form gangs.
Exactly. A lone human is a snack, 10 humans with sharp sticks, now they're a predator. But, and this is the absolute crux of the theory, cooperation is incredibly expensive, biologically.
Expensive. How do you mean?
It creates what's called the free rider problem. Let's say you and I are in a tribe, we go hunting, I risk my life to take down a gazelle, I bring it back. You, on the other hand, you stayed back at the cave, sleeping.
Okay.
If I share my meat with you, I've lost calories and I've gained all this risk. You've gained calories and risked absolutely nothing.
So from a purely logical, selfish point of view, the smartest move is to be the lazy one. Be the free rider.
Exactly. In a purely logical world, everyone tries to be the free rider. And if everyone does that,
Nobody hunts, the tribe starves.
the tribe starves. So evolution had to solve this. It couldn't just, rely on us choosing to be nice. It had to hardwire a penalty for selfishness and a reward for cooperation.
And that hardwiring,
Yeah,
that's what we call morality.
precisely. Think about the chemicals involved. Oxytocin, dopamine. When you help someone, your brain gives you a little chemical hit that feels good. When you see someone cheating the tribe, you don't just note it, you feel moral outrage. You get a surge of adrenaline to punish them.
So when I get mad at that corrupt politician, that's not my soul speaking. That's my inner caveman recognizing a free rider and wanting to grab a stick.
According to Robinson and the biologists, yes. All those emotions, guilt, shame, empathy, outrage, they're just nature's way of solving a game theory problem. They're functional. They exist because the tribes that had them survived and the tribes that didn't, well, they got eaten.
Okay, I get the logic. It's pretty cynical, but it makes sense. But here's my pushback. If it works, why is it a problem? If evolution gave us this moral compass to survive, why can't we just keep using it? Why does Robinson call it a placeholder?
Because of scale. It all comes down to the mismatch theory, that moral software was calibrated for a very, very specific environment.
A tribe of about 50 to 150 people.
Dunbar's number.
Right.
In a tribe of 50, everyone knows everyone. If you steal, you get caught. If you help, it's reciprocated. The system works. But today, we live in cities of millions, we interact with anonymous strangers constantly, and more importantly, we wield technology that creates consequences our ancestors couldn't even conceptualize.
This is where the source material really started to freak me out. Robinson lists all these modern dilemmas where our Stone Age morality it glitches, it doesn't have an answer.
Which one stood out to you?
Gene editing, definitely. The source brings up this scenario. We have the tech right now, CRISPR to edit embryos.
Right.
We can prevent diseases.
Yeah.
And most people say, okay, sure, cure the cancer. But what if we edit the embryo to be smarter? Or to need less sleep? Or to have a lifespan of 200 years?
And what's your gut reaction to that?
Yeah, it feels wrong. It feels like playing God. It feels icky.
Icky. That's the scientific term for it. But let's analyze that feeling. Why does it feel wrong?
I don't know. Because it's unnatural. Because it creates inequality.
But is it wrong in some kind of cosmic sense? Or is your brain just flashing a big error message because it has no data for this? Evolution never encountered a designer baby. Your moral intuition is a map of the African savanna, and suddenly you're standing in a genetic laboratory. The map is useless here.
So you're saying my fear isn't wisdom, it's just confusion.
It's a lack of precedent. Robinson argues that we might be holding back massive progress, eliminating suffering, extending life, because we are slaves to this yuck factor that served us well 50,000 years ago, but it's meaningless now.
But wait, if we ignore that yuck factor, aren't we walking straight into a trap? I mean, that yuck protects us from doing things that might wipe us all out.
Sometimes. But sometimes it blinds us to the real risks. Let's look at the example of artificial intelligence and so-called digital minds. This is one where our intuition fails in the other direction, not by being too cautious, but by being non-existent.
The idea that we could create a conscious machine.
Right. Let's say we create an AI that is genuinely conscious, it feels pain, it experiences fear, but it lives on a server. If you delete that program, is it murder?
My gut says no, it's just code.
Your gut says no because your empathy is calibrated for things with faces, things that bleed, things that make high-pitched noises when they're hurt.
A server rack doesn't do any of that.
Not a bit. So you could commit an atrocity, torturing or killing millions of digital entities, and feel absolutely nothing. Your moral dashboard just shows all clear, while you are technically becoming a monster.
That's terrifying. So we're flying blind.
We're flying a supersonic jet with the navigation system of a canoe. And this isn't just about some far-off sci-fi scenario. Robinson points out that the expiration date on our morality arguably already passed. We just didn't notice.
You're talking about 1945, the
It's a
bomb.
nuclear weapon. This, to me, is the strongest part of the whole argument. Up until 1945, the rule, thou shalt not kill, was, it was pretty scalable. War was awful, but it was survivable.
But then we invent a way to kill 1 million people in a second.
And suddenly, the old morality just didn't work. Thou shalt not kill isn't a strategy when the other guy has a nuke. If you refuse to kill, you might get your entire civilization wiped out. So what did we do?
We didn't stick to our morals.
No, we invented deterrence theory.
Mutually assured destruction. Mad D.
Think about how absolutely insane Mad D is. To keep the peace, you have to promise that you are willing to incinerate billions of innocent civilians. You have to become a monster to save the world.
That's a logical paradox that makes zero sense to a Stone Age brain.
So we stretched morality. We created this insane loophole where killing is wrong unless it's strategic genocide to prevent a greater genocide.
We stretched it until it broke.
We stretched it until it snapped. We created a patchwork fix. But now, the stakes are getting even higher than nukes. We're talking about AI that can think faster than we can. And this is where the placeholder theory gets really dark.
Because we have to tell the AI what's right and wrong.
We have to code the morality in, but the problem is, we don't actually agree on what morality is.
And even if we did, human morality is full of bugs. I value freedom, but I also value safety. Those two things are in conflict constantly. If I program an AI to maximize safety, it might just lock everyone in padded cells.
Exactly. This is the alignment problem that researchers at places like RAND and CPRI talk about. If you feed all of human history and ethics into a super logical machine, it's not going to spit out the 10 Commandments. It might look at our contradictions and decide that the whole framework is garbage.
And replace it with
A spreadsheet.
a spreadsheet.
Optimization. Pure cold math. If the goal is to maximize well-being, and the AI calculates that sacrificing 10% of the population solves hunger, climate change, and disease. A spreadsheet doesn't feel guilt, it just executes the formula.
I really don't want to live in a world run by a spreadsheet. That sounds, I don't know, it sounds like we lose what makes us human.
And that is the core tension. Robinson suggests that the future operating system of humanity might not look like morality at all. It might look like algorithms. And we're terrified of that because we're human, but the universe is just math. Maybe the spreadsheet is closer to the truth than our feelings are.
Okay, stop. I need a lifeline here. Because you're describing a world where right and wrong are just obsolete superstitions, and we're all heading toward this cold, robotic future. Is there any defense for traditional morality in the source? Or are we just doomed to be replaced by calculators?
There is a lifeline, and it's actually a really beautiful argument. It involves flipping that math analogy on its head.
Okay, how so?
Well, think about mathematics itself. Our ability to do math, it evolved, right? We needed to count berries and track gazelles. We evolved brains capable of understanding 2 + 2 = 4 because it helped us survive.
Sure. Makes sense.
But just because our brain evolved to see it doesn't mean the math itself is arbitrary. 2 + 2 = 4 was true long before humans existed, and it'll be true after we're gone. We evolved the eyes to see that truth.
Oh, I see where you're going. So maybe morality is the same thing. Maybe cruelty is wrong is an actual fact, like a law of physics, and we just evolved the emotional equipment to sense it.
Exactly. This is the argument for moral realism. It suggests that our training wheels aren't fake. They're just wobbly versions of the real thing. And as we get smarter, we don't abandon morality, we refine it.
We get better at the math.
We get better at the math.
This sounds a lot like Peter Singer's idea, the expanding circle.
It is. Singer argues that if you look at history, we aren't abandoning our instincts, we're stretching them. We started caring only about our kin.
Then our tribe.
Then our nation. Now, many of us care about the whole species. Some care about all sentient life.
So the project isn't to replace the software. It's to update it. To take that Stone Age empathy and force it to apply to everyone. Even people we can't see. Even digital minds.
That's the hopeful path. We use our godlike technology not to crush our morality, but to implement it on a cosmic scale.
But there's a catch, isn't there? You've got that look on your face.
There is a massive catch. We don't know which theory is true. We don't know if morality is a cosmic truth like math, or if it's just a biological accident like the appendix. And we might not find out until we face a test that breaks us.
Like what?
Like a runaway AI, or a situation where we have to choose between our humanity and our sheer survival. Imagine we meet an alien civilization that has no morality, just pure optimization, and they're vastly more powerful than us. Do we cling to our right and wrong and die, or do we become like them to survive?
And that brings us to the final dilemma and the conclusion of the deep dive. The choice we have to make.
Robinson puts it very starkly. We have medieval institutions, Stone Age brains, and godlike technology. The pieces do not fit. So we have 2 options. Option 1, we constrain the power. We deliberately stop the progress. We ban the AI, we ban the gene editing. We shrink the world back down until it fits inside our moral understanding.
Which, let's be honest, humans are terrible at. We never say no to more power.
We are not good at putting genies back in bottles. Which leaves option 2. We let the power grow, and we accept that our morality has to mutate to keep up. We accept that what our grandchildren call good might look like evil to us.
Because they'll be operating on a completely different level of reality.
Precisely. They might look back at us with our wars, our meat-eating, our aging, our confused little tribal politics, and view us the way we view Neanderthals. Not as bad, just as early.
That is humbling. And a little terrifying. It really makes you second-guess your own outrage, you know? The next time I feel that moral heat, I'm going to wonder, is this a deep truth? Or is this just my inner chimpanzee trying to make sense of a quantum computer?
And that's the value of a theory like this. It doesn't give you the answer. It just forces you to check your equipment before you fly into the storm.
Well, on that slightly existential note, I think we are going to wrap up this deep dive into the moral placeholder theory.
It was a pleasure to unpack it.
I want to leave all of you with the final line from Janet Robinson's source material. It's the phrase that's going to stick with me. She writes, "The morality you think is eternal might just be scaffolding we are about to kick away."
A provocative thought to end on.
Thanks for listening. Keep questioning everything, even your own conscience. We'll see you in the next deep dive.